So eminent domain is a law that allows the state to grab property for its purposes. So right now, police can sign a law or handcuff, depending on who's relevant.
Do you think they will?
No, because
Okay,
their
that
interest.
idea is a non-starter, so we can.
No, it's not a non-starter because
Well,
you're
if they're not gonna
advocating.
if they're not going to do it, then
Hold
why?
on, you're advocating for the interest of a few property owners over the entire benefit of society. The idea of the empty 20,000 units being a non-starter because one politician doesn't want to sign it. I get that if I had 10,000 people out here, then police might take the issue more seriously. We had 10,000 people outside of the Capitol in May regarding the racial justice problem. We got the most trivial fucking police reform bill in human history. It was almost nothing, and half of it doesn't come into effect for 3 years. So the idea that popular movements are going to be listened to in America is absolutely false. The only time anybody listened to popular movements in America was when they turned into riots. When they rioted in the 60s, that is when the government listened. When you come out here and peacefully protest, the government doesn't do shit, and they're certainly not going to do shit if you ask them nicely. Fucking police has financial interests in these buildings. There is no reason he would screw his own financial interests over and the interests of his friends that fund his campaigns in the interest of people when he has to take a loss. There's the reason why taxes aren't raised on the rich. They just influence politics to the point where we don't have the solutions that are easy and simple to implement that other countries implement. Like I said, Barcelona did it. Majority of the places in Europe resolved homelessness overnight, and in fucking Las Vegas they put homeless people in a parking lot when the fucking entire city was shut down and every single hotel was empty. They took homeless people and put them in parking lots. So if you're going to tell me that an entire city like Vegas having nobody in their hotels and having a homeless issue, and you can't resolve those two issues in some fucking way, then the lack of imagination is in your approach, not in mine. I have an approach, I have a solution, and the only thing standing in the way is a millionaire who I don't give a fuck about. I care about the people in the street. I don't care about some fucking capitalist interest. And I don't understand why you're so interested in business owner, you know, cooperation and middle ground and negotiation like they care about us. They never care about us. You miss a fucking payment on your house, they'll kick you out in a heartbeat. And you're gonna say, well, how do I negotiate in the interest of my bank and in my interest? And your bank's like, buddy, if you don't pay us $2,000 a month, get the fuck out of here, we're taking it. So with this false solidarity with some sort of business owner class and accommodating their interests is just alienating in every possible way. Majority of people out here want a solution to this. They're aware that there are solutions to this, and the city is taking no action at all.
Are you a Jedi Knight? I can be.
So I don't know, if I'm saying something that's insane, it's not registering with me, because I will not uphold the interests of Jeff Bezos for a moment in my life. And I will advocate for the interests of his employees every single fucking day. The ruling class in capitalism and the people in charge, they get there through exploitation. They do not get there through hard work and achievement. And it is in generational inherited wealth. And so it's weird that I have to find the middle ground between a business owner and 10 human beings living on the street. Why do I have to find a middle ground? You know, there's a majority problem there, and the solution, it's simple. It boggles my mind that you advocate for their interests when they don't care about you.
I think you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't advocate for anybody's interest.
Well, you said business interests.
I'm just saying that your failure to make change is not
But it's not
based
my
on somebody
responsibility.
else. Okay, then it's not your responsibility.
It's the responsibility of the guy we elect.
Okay.
It's Hancock and Polis's
Okay.
responsibility to fix this.
Okay.
And the sweep isn't fixing it.
Okay, well, fair enough.
I just want to build on something he said. Earlier you mentioned that the solution to just provide free housing, no strings attached to these people, is a non-starter because Polis or Hancock or whatever
Won't do it.
politician doesn't want to do it. That doesn't eliminate the free housing solution. That just creates another problem.
Yeah,
that we need
it's
to find
just another
solution to.
hurdle we have to
And the
clear.
thing is I have the solution to getting Polis out or to getting housing to these people without having Polis to do it. But every time those solutions get enacted, I get thrown in jail, right? That's the big point here, is that the solutions that we have found already are being not just not enacted, they are being actively prevented from happening, right? And this is all hypothetical, I have no plans of doing this, but the people could bring to arms, go to that apartment building
Yep.
right there, post up a rifleman on every single door
Well,
and
you-
say, our unhoused neighbors get to live here.
Hold on, you don't need a post rifleman. If we go into that building right now and through our own means get in there, go into the empty apartment buildings and access them,
Liberate.
here is what's going to happen, and that is a human solution that bypasses politics. The police are going to show up, use violent force and evict us, because the police don't protect people. They're not acting in the interest of the people living out here. They act in the interest of the capitalist class. They protect capitalism and they protect financial interests and property. That is what they do, and that is why we can't have our own solutions, and we have to rely on Hancock, and then Hancock can go and tell us to go get fucked, and we have no option but to come out here and berate you people because there are no other means. Okay, majority of these people are driving by and they're going to work. They don't have the means to stop and get involved in this. But if you ask every single one of these people what they think, that is the opinion. The majority opinion in this country is not listened to by politicians. That's why we general elections can be 3 million votes in one way and they don't end up going in that direction, right?
Just a quick statistical example of that, universal health care
Oh, yeah, there you go.
is supported massively.
70% of the
80%
of the country.
of the country supports Medicare, M4A, universal health care. Yet
We don't
despite
have it.
all of the democratic processes and all of the things that we're told to do to enact this change, we just elected a president replacing the incumbent president
Who's going to veto Medicare
who
for all.
promised he will veto it. And the other guy before him did that too. We got change. We literally, not we, I mean, I didn't vote for Joe Biden, but the nation, they literally managed to defeat an incumbent the first time in 100 years that that's happened, and there will still not be meaningful change that reflects what is objectively
The
will of
idea
the
that
people.
politicians listen to us is preposterous on its face.
And that kind of sort of is my point, is you're all, you got to bring everybody with you, and that's all I can say is you got to, and if you're not able to get that idea across to everybody, then you're not going to be able to.
But one thing I'll say is what helps us is when the people that are complicit in the operations also object to doing it. What helps us is people like you, and I get you're kind of not the significant role here, but if we can get these city employees and who come here and basically they clean up the trash, if they're not out here sweeping homeless people, they probably have other tasks that they do during the day, and we need them to say, no, today I'm not going to come out and sweep homeless people and fuck with homeless people's stuff. The cops could do the same and say, sorry sergeant, today I don't want to come out and I don't want to fuck with homeless people again. I want to uphold the law in society, for which they don't do. They generate revenue and they show up after a crime has been committed. They don't prevent them. But everybody that enables this operation can object to being a part of it, and that is a significant part of it, as 10,000 people on this side of the fence trying to stop it. And so that is your task in that moment, is to endlessly voice your disapproval and disgust for this kind of action. And you have access to people that are more influential than I have access right now. I'm very well aware of, if I try to get an audience with Jared Polis, I'm not gonna fucking get near him. But your boss has a boss who has a boss who can access somebody who is aware of what's going on. And if that disapproval works its way up the grapevine, then eventually someone will say, actually, my entire workforce doesn't want to do this, and you need to find a different solution because I'm going to stop sending them.
I see your point.
So
Makes sense, yeah.
the pressure point in society is labor. When you live in a capitalist system, the pressure point is labor. That is why 10,000 people at the Capitol can be ignored, and general strikes and any kind of worker strikes are very quickly crushed if they can be. That's why when LeBron James went on strike, within one fucking day, Barack Obama, who protects that capitalist class and those financial interests, picked up the phone and said, don't strike, vote, because you can vote from a set of predetermined choices, but if you strike, that's a pressure point, that's labor, that affects income and revenue and profit, and that starts to hurt our bottom line, and that's the only thing we care about. So that is why the business interests are the ones that need to be challenged the most, because they're not in our interest. They exploit us for their own benefit, and from an economic perspective, we're at such a precipice of dire economic outlook. Mortgage debt in the US got to $10 trillion yesterday, and all of our money that we earn goes to servicing creditors, and it's extracted from us by a capitalist class, and we don't stimulate the economy anymore because everything we have to pay to a bank or to some sort of financial company, and all of our money disappears, and it's getting to a point where there's going to be no money left, and the wealth accumulation is so preposterous that the